Remember that whole coronavirus social distancing thing? Remember how in both the US and the UK the media denounced and publicly shamed anti-lockdown protesters for spreading the disease and killing Granny? Well, they've suddenly changed their tune, haven't they? Thousands of BLM demonstrators gathered in London today for more peaceful protests that ended with barriers being smashed, objects hurled at cops, and police officers punched in the face. So peaceful. Boris Johnson urged people to protest in accordance with social distancing. Yeah, really looks like they're doing that. Meanwhile, we can't hug our loved ones by law. It's illegal for us to get closer than 2 meters to our own parents, but this is okay. Anti-lockdown protesters are bad, spread the virus, and kill Granny, and you'll be publicly shamed if you take part. BLM protests are good and don't spread coronavirus at all. And you'll be publicly shamed if you don't take part. The same health workers in the US who berated stay-at-home protesters, even though many of them stayed inside their vehicles, for violating social distancing, are out on the streets today applauding far-left protesters for congregating in huge mobs with total disregard for social distancing. Authorities in New York were enforcing social distancing rules despite the fact that riots and looting were taking place just 2 miles away. People aren't even allowed to go to church, yet these rioters are venerated. We can't even go to the pub to see our friends, yet these people can swarm Downing Street in huge numbers and the media gives them a pass. Imagine if there was an Open the Pubs protest in London. Even if only 100 people turned up, the media and the left would be outraged. Attendees would be doxxed and harassed. Thousands gather in London to protest something that happened in a different country. Media, this is fine. Remember how much of a big deal they made out of that Atalanta-Valencia football match in Italy before the lockdown that they said was responsible for drastically spreading COVID? The media called it a biological bomb. This is London today. What changed? Let me emphasise, this is all in response to something that happened in a different country. UK police killed just 2 unarmed, meaning without a gun, people in the whole of 2019. One of whom was Usman Khan, the London Bridge terrorist. What are you even protesting? When an Islamic terrorist blew up a bunch of kids in Manchester, we were told, don't look back in anger. But when an American cop kills someone 4,000 miles away, people get angry. Then there's the whole Dominic Cummings freak-out. The same people who just hyperventilated for over a week because a government advisor broke social distancing to arrange urgent care for his child are now gushing over a mass gathering of thousands of people in central London. What changed? Is coronavirus woke? Does it take a break exclusively for protests that champion left-wing causes? Or are you all just a bunch of massive fucking hypocrites? This Labour MP was whining about Cummings on May 25th. Just over a week later, he's bragging about breaking social distancing because virtue signalling is more important. Massive fucking hypocrite. The UK media laboriously keeps telling us that coronavirus disproportionately affects BAME communities. Now, thousands of BAME people are in close proximity, potentially giving each other the virus. And the media celebrates it. Many of the protesters in London are school-aged teenagers. Leftists have aggressively campaigned against sending them back to school because of the threat of spreading COVID. Attending a protest with thousands of other people cheek by jowl, though, that's fine. As Ben Sixsmith writes for The Spectator, it's kind of amazing. For weeks, we have been arguing about the minute details of viral transmission. Can you be outside? How often can you be outside? Can you be with other people? How many? And how much distance should you keep from each other? Then masses of people gather in cities across the world for a protest, and the authorities do nothing. It just goes ahead. All those cancelled weddings, missed funerals, and never to be had last moments with their loved ones that people were expected to endure, only to see other people doing this. It's absolutely crucial for you to help me fight the war on free speech by supporting me via Subscribe Star, link in description. and also signing up for my free newsletter at summit.news/newsletter.